Hi, I'm Deshaun Scarborough, Executive Director of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to have an amazing day. We're going to kick it off with a prayer breakfast at Shorter College Gymnasium. This program is sponsored and co-sponsored by the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission and Bethel AME Church in North Little Rock. Pastor Tyrone Broomfield and his staff has done an amazing job to make this happen. So please join us and stay tuned for our prayer breakfast.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. I have a dream today.
These things we count on every day started as ideas. Ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
I got no pulse, so losing him.
Sergeant, he's in vaping.
Shock him.
Guys look real all the time. You just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
You just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine. I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him.
How many trees in the cookie jar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Go Dad! Go Dad!
Take time to be a dad today.
Just what he said.
Well, the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission has done an excellent job at putting on the King Holiday program for years. And for this program to be in Shorter College, North Little Rock, in my legislative district, I'm just honored and excited that they're here today for such an important occasion as the prayer breakfast. The prayer breakfast kind of launches the entire holiday. We have activities going on throughout the state of Arkansas, and the Commission has done a good job of including other parts of the state, such as Conway, Northwest Arkansas, even the Arkansas Delta. So to kick everything off right here in North Little Rock, I'm certainly honored to have them, and we're certainly going to roll out the red carpet this morning.
One of the most important components of this year's day of service is to kick it off with a prayer breakfast. We thought it'd be great and fulfilling to partner with Bethel AME Church. You know, Pastor Tyrone Broomfield and his staff are just amazing. And this will be a great opportunity for him and myself to partner with other state agencies, other clergymen throughout the community, and bring forth everyone to pray together, to kick this day off as King Holiday, to make it special. And what better place to do it than right at Shorter College.
We'll do something to expand our influence on others as we continue to think about the things that Dr. King stood for, the things that he reiterated time and time again, as it relates to not only civil rights, but human rights.
While there are many in this room who lived during the time of Dr. King's struggles, while there are many in this room who participated in activities to try to gain equal access to America's dream, while there are many in this room who can tell the story firsthand, there needs to be, and there is here present, generations that never knew Dr. King, never lived during Dr. King's missionary work, never participated at the height of the movement. And one of the real salutary effects of continuing to celebrate Dr. King's legacy on this day is the fact that if you don't tell the story to subsequent generations, it ends up getting lost. It is not enough to read about it in a history book. It is not enough to periodically recite his speeches. It is not enough to be able to witness the documentary accounts or the videos of that time and those places. It is essential that by word of mouth and continuing celebration that the legacy be passed on in person from one generation to the next. Would all of the young people, and maybe not so young people, who were not alive when Dr. King was on this earth stand up? Now that's the reason we celebrate continuously year after year, to pass on personally the significance and the importance of what Dr. King did. Lest we forget, there are two aspects of Dr. King's life that stand out to me personally as being a marked reason for the success of his leadership. One is wisdom. You have to put yourself in the context of the 1950s and the 1960s in this country to recognize and to realize that it took wisdom to get into the minds and, in effect, to soften the hearts of the American people. It may sound strange in today's world, but had Dr. King met violence with violence, had Dr. King followed one of the admonitions of an eye for an eye, had Dr. King reacted in the same way in response that he was treated, the hearts of the American people would not have been turned as quickly. Had he not had the wisdom to understand that you get inside white America, that you get inside the majority of the American people's head by turning the other cheek, Reverend Robinson, the success would have been much, much slower in coming. And it was slow enough as it was. So the wisdom to understand how you change America's mind, how you soften America's heart, was one of the two key elements that stand out in my mind about Dr. King's legacy. The other one is courage. Now, in today's world, we equate courage with being able to stand up and defend yourself. We equate courage by being able to react, often with violence, to people who oppress us. But I would argue it took more courage for nonviolence than it took for violence. So not only was it wise, it was courageous. Much, much more courage required to take the slings and arrows. Much more courage required to turn the other cheek. Much more courage required than it would have been had he reacted as many of us would probably have reacted under the same or similar circumstances. So as we go forth and celebrate today, and as you celebrate all year long, remember that the wisdom and the courage exhibited by Dr. King is the reason why this legacy must be maintained and must be celebrated. And the young people here who never saw it firsthand should always be exposed to what that represents. Not just for us, not just for them, but for generations to come.
Good morning, and to the commission and the clergy assembled and to my fellow Arkansans, I simply say Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I went to Jonesboro Public Schools, and I can do some basic math, and I see that we have a lot of speakers here today, and so I will not take up any of their valuable and precious time. Just know that I have tried to keep the commitment that I have made throughout my time as the advocate for the people of the state of Arkansas, and to remember Dr. King's admonition that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and we shall fight it wherever we find it. God bless you and have a great day.
I'd like to thank my dear friend Reverend Tyrone Broomfield and the Bethel AME Church here in North Little Rock, as well as the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, DeShawn, the executive director, and Tracy Steele, who was before him and did an outstanding job. Thank you all for being a part of this today, and to all of you for coming, because I think it's absolutely critical that we never forget. We never forget the sacrifices that were made by Dr. King and, quite frankly, his family to ensure that civil justice and social justice will always prevail in the United States of America. You know, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And I can tell you this, that, you know, we live among the freest of all people in the world. We get to choose where we live and where we work and who we marry and how many children we have and where we worship. One of the few things in life that we don't get to choose is who our parents are. And some children, black and white and brown, get real lucky. I did. And some don't. And that's why, with all the talk about budget cuts up in Washington, it is absolutely critical that we ensure that the funding is there for Head Start and early childhood education to give every child, regardless of the color of their skin, an opportunity at realizing their fullest potential and realizing the American dream.
Well, the scripture that I wanted to focus on today is in the Psalms, and it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is when brothers dwell together in unity." And to me, that's always the psalm, the passage that I keep going back to every Martin Luther King Day, because I think that really is what Dr. King stood for, is unity. And I don't know if y'all have had a chance to read the quotes on your little boxes here on your tables, but there's a great quote on mine from Dr. King, and he says, "I want to be the white man's brother, not his brother-in-law." And I think that's where we are today. I think there's been a ton of progress. We all know that. Ton of progress. It's like day and night compared to the way things were several decades ago. But there's still a lot of challenges out there for us and a lot of struggles that lay ahead. And I actually was an eyewitness to this just, within the last 2 or 3 months. I was talking to somebody, and honestly, and Mike appreciates this, Mike Ross appreciates this, is probably one of those people who thinks that the Congress gets, free health care and thinks that, we get a lifetime salary and all this crazy stuff, which we don't. But he was kind of ill-informed to start with. But one of the things he said, well, y'all get all those holidays off in Washington, don't you? And I said, what do you mean by those holidays? Well, you get the Christian holidays off, you get Jewish holidays off, you get the black holidays off. I said, what black holiday are you talking about? He said, Martin Luther King Day. And I said, that's not a black holiday, it's a national holiday. It's a national holiday. You know, and I said, look, Dr. King is really the fulfillment of the promise of our founding fathers. When you look at the Declaration of Independence and Constitution, it took a long time, but finally Dr. King came along and taught this nation what those words really mean. This is a celebration of Dr. King's teachings and his legacy, and you know, the struggle's not over. I mean, look, we've made a ton of progress in the last several decades, but we still have a lot of challenges left, and I think Dr. King sort of calls us to be a better nation, to be better people, to do great things for the country, and to really fulfill the promise of the founding fathers, the promises that are in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution. I think Dr. King really calls us to work hard every day to make sure those come to fruition.
Let me see that. 7% by.
Once you post your image online, you can't take it back. Anyone can see it. Family, friends, anyone. Remember, think before you post.
I present to you Algebra 2, Foreign Languages, and finally, Biology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Brown bag your lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Good cholesterol versus bad, Woody Page.
It all rides on the lipoproteins. The higher the HDL, the lower the risk of heart disease.
I mean, this is a guy who shed 30 pounds in 2 months. He tackled his sleep apnea, too.
High blood pressure's weak. 150 over 95? Bench the salt.
The pass down low? Now that's a clean colon.
If only you followed your health the way you follow sports. For a complete list of the tests you need and when you need them, go to ahrq.gov/realman.
Well, I'm the sheriff of Pulaski County Sheriff, and it's an opportunity for community, both community leaders and members of the community to come together to recognize the importance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and what he meant to this country, and to celebrate this day of remembrance and the holiday that has been declared, and the festivities that are going on around the country today, and the many activities that are taking place here in Little Rock in recognition of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And it's an opportunity to come together and meet with people to hear about the works of Dr. King and celebrate his legacy.
You know, one of the things the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission does is we try to unite and bring in unison everyone throughout the community, from African American to Caucasian to Hispanic to whomever. And it's very important at this prayer breakfast that we reach and unite everyone.
We've come asking you to look down from heaven and pull back the curtains of eternity and heal our land. Our nation stands in need of a healing.
2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 and 15 reads thusly: If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Verse 15 says, Now mine eyes shall be open and my ears attentive unto the prayer that is made in this place. God bless you.
We thank you, O God, for bringing us here to celebrate and to remember. And now, Lord, my job is to bless the food. So I ask you to bless the food, and not only bless the food, but bless the people that are here. And Father, that as we leave today, we will say, the food was good, and so was the fellowship.
One of the most important components of this year's day of service is to kick it off with a prayer breakfast. We thought it'd be great and fulfilling to partner with Bethel AME Church. You know, Pastor Tyrone Broomfield and his staff are just amazing. And this will be a great opportunity for him and myself to partner with other state agencies, other clergymen throughout the community, and bring forth everyone to pray together. To kick this day off as King Holiday, to make it special. And what better place to do it than right at Shorter College.
I drove here, I passed by the brothers and sisters who are now the talk of the nation, Occupy Wall Street. And many people laugh at them, many people frown at them, and many people don't understand them and say, why don't they go get a job? Why don't they go do something a little more productive than sit around and protest and sit around and have rallies and marches? But how far removed are we from the times of Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement, when people in the larger community said, what is it for? Why are they marching? Why is he going to jail? Why are they picketing? Why are they protesting? The reason why they protested and picketed and marched years ago is for us to be able to gather here in places like this today, black, white, working together hand in hand to make a difference. So today, all across the world, we're talking about the I have a dream, and sometimes it becomes I had a dream. But today, I hope that we will do what many clergy and young people across America are doing today, and that is occupy the dream.
Our goal is to promote racial harmony, multicultural diversity, and social equality for all Arkansans. We are legislatively mandated to exemplify leadership among our youth of all races and allow them the opportunity to matriculate in their endeavors. To that end, our Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is best among best and has established the type of credibility of alumni that I am very proud to be part of. And now, given the opportunity to serve as your Executive Director of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, I will continue to emerge as an elite, well-rounded individual that fosters trustworthiness, respect, and the ingenuity that our great commission has been known to offer. Now, having said that, 4 years ago, first coming into office, I'd like to take this time to thank a man who gave me a sense of supreme confidence in me, who gave me an opportunity and appointed me as Executive Director of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, and that's Governor Mike Beebe. He did another huge favor by pairing me with a great man who I'd like to bring forth to you right now, who I consider to be one of the top attorneys in the state of Arkansas, a man who has taken the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission and made order out of chaos. I'd like to introduce to you a man that I call my godfather, attorney, Chairman Phil Kaplan.
Well, I actually had no idea that I was going to speak this morning. It is my privilege to be the chair and to extend my personal thanks, as I have before, to Governor Beebe for appointing me as the chair. It's a singular honor. In my religious tradition, we recite twice a year the Exodus from slavery to freedom from Egypt the Exodus. That's 3,000 years ago. But every year we remember. And it's important for us to remember the singular individual in this country, in this century, who delivered all of us, from slavery to freedom. Thank you for being here.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s federal holiday, it's a holiday for all of us. It's a holiday to come together and remember the legacy of Dr. King, remember the lessons of Dr. King, and ensure the dream continues to live on. Not just in a dream, but also in becoming more and more reality every single day. We've come a long way. We've still got a long way to go. We've got to keep up the fight for social justice and for civil rights for all Americans.
I think it's so important, the principles and ideals that he taught and lived and died for, we need to pass on to the next generation of young people. And so that's why I came out today, to be able to participate in passing on this legacy.
Martin Luther King means so much to me, to my family, to my life, and to those who are present today, because it had not been for the dream of King, as Joseph dreamed in the biblical day, Martin Luther King had a dream in our day and time, and we appreciate him. We're here because it's a day on and not a day off. We're here because we come to not only to remember, but we come to celebrate, and as soon as this event is over, when we get our physical food and get our spiritual prayer, we're going to do some physical work and act on behalf of the God that we serve and the United States of America, and we are proud to be in this position.
Well, it has continued to grow. When we started, we didn't have anything. It was just the legislation passed, it was words on paper, and we put everything in place. And now this new generation that's come in, and they've taken it even further. So we're very pleased at where the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is today, and we're excited about where it's going on in the future. But people should realize something very important, and that is Arkansas is one of the few states. There are less than 5 states in the country that have state-funded Martin Luther King Jr. commissions, and that's very important. So we need to do everything we can to work and continue to encourage the legislature and the governor to continue to support the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission with state funding.
Thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you next year at our 27th anniversary of the federal holiday for Dr. King, where we'll host another prayer breakfast. Stay tuned and join us at www.arkingdream.org or call us at 501-683-1300.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.